That's the capital town of Volta.
Kumasi.
No, I mean Ho, as in Ho, the capital town of the regional capital of Volta region.
Hey, in Volta side.
Yes, I'm in Volta region.
Well, that is a pleasure. That's so great. Well, my name is Eric Okidi Okot. I come from Uganda. Uganda is found in the eastern part of Africa. I believe you know. We call it,
Yes.
we name it the Pearl of Africa.
That's great.
We name it the
Yeah.
Pearl of Africa. That's Uganda. From Uganda, I come from the northern part of Uganda.
Okay.
And Uganda as a country is comprised of quite a good number of tribes and culture.
That's true.
And I believe today our interaction is going to get a more distinctive and detailed interaction in and reasoning when it comes to the African culture.
That's true.
Yeah, as I made mention, my name is Eric Okidi. Now, the question that has been derived from the theme, we are looking at the Africa's cultural transformations, valid or not. That is a question that has been forward. Okay. But now we shall be guided by quite a good number of questions, and I will take you through some questions that are put down. Then now, from your perspective, looking at the Accra, Ghana, looking at the Nigerians, looking at the Sierra Leone, the cultures, they have their cultures. Now, when it comes to the southern part of Africa, you know the Zulus and the like, you know them. That's now, the eastern part of Africa, you also know them. So we need to understand the distinctive characteristics, the characters, the norms, and whatever they always do when it comes to Africa. Okay. So how is the culture of Africa different from the whites, the Europeans, the Americans, the Indians? So what are we going to do with our cultures? So without wasting time, I'll pose to you one question: that what do we mean by culture, and how distinct is the African anatomies culture from other countries? How distinct are they? The ball is in your hand, bro.
Thank you so much. I am Freedom Giant Kapato Reigns, speaking from Ghana, currently from the Volta region as we speak right now. Yes, when you talk about culture, it involves a lot, which goes as far as to mean the shared values, beliefs, norms, and practices of a particular group of people. It encompasses the way of a society, which includes their traditions, their customs, and history. You know, when you delve down into culture, you'll get to know more about the immigration stories of the various culture, the various group of people, their tradition, where they migrated from to their present day settlement. And moving forward to distinguish it from that of the white man's culture, that's the Western culture. Africans, we often place a strong bond, a strong emphasis on community and family. And we have a rich history of storytelling, music, and art. So with these components mentioned, they are what makes us unique. They are what makes us stand out. Such that once you see when you delve into our storytelling, you know, that used to be and is still a form of entertainment, a platform where the younger ones seize the opportunity to learn, delve deeper again, you'll realize that the African culture, we have a deep connection to the spiritual world. That is our beliefs, which in Africa here, we have a lot of religions that one will opt to belong depending on your convictions, how you understand, and what I mean, how you understood the origin of the religion which you opt to belong. Where we have the traditional, we have Christianity, we have the Muslim community, and then many more. Yes. So with all these things put together, it makes us stand out, well differentiated from that of the white man's culture. Yes. Freedom Giants, lawyer Okidi, are you with me?
Yes, brother. Thank you very much for that incentive. You connected culture in regard to spiritual world. Then we have religion and Christianity. All those one under it belong to their convictions. Whatever they belong in, they begin practicing. But African were already there. So how is Africa culture expressed? How do they express the West African part of it? You are in Ghana. Those guys from the Cameroon near you. Yeah, and it is a walkable distance.
Yeah. Hello, please can you hear me? African culture is expressed in so many ways. Remember when I was giving the intro for what culture stands for, I made mention of acts. I made mention of the way of life of the people, which encompasses music, storytelling, and more. So, um, basically, what we are identified with is with the music, the kind of music, our source of entertainment, our clothing. Just like I'm wearing one um, handmade smoke here. This is proudly Ghanaian and proudly African at large. So once even with this, we have different countries waving the same smoke, but we have that key element that still distinguishes the originality of one particular artifact from the other. And when you also consider the food that we eat, we are all Africans. When you go into it and delve deeper into the different, countries, you'll still realize that there would be a particular food that stands out. Just like when you go to Nigeria, they would have their ABC, then they will have their eba, which is something they love so much. You come to Ghana, we have our fufu that we love so much. That is best enjoyed with palm nut soup and then.
I like fufu.
Oh, really? You've eaten some from Ghana before? Have you tried that?
Yes, I've ever eaten fufu. So even in Uganda, we have the same.
Oh, you see, this is lovely. This is lovely. But I guess the day that you step your foot in Ghana here and then taste what we have at hand, I mean, you would love it. It's actually a mouth-watering delicacy. Yes, it's a mouth-watering delicacy we have here. So when you look at all these, ranging from the food, from the music, from our beliefs, even within Africa, we have different traditions, different taboos. As in particular days, we don't perform certain events. As in going to the sea on a particular day is forbidden, because it is believed that that day is for the gods of the land to do what they have to do to protect the source of the sea and then its people. You see, and in Ghana here, just like other countries, we also have some days that you don't go to the farm. You don't go to the farm. It's a day that you have to rest, and for the gods of the land to take charge and do what they have to do to make sure that our farm this in produce. It produces the best of quality. And these are cultural norms, beliefs, and traditions that have been moved from generation to generation to present day, and they are still, being observed and then celebrated. Then
it's quite impressive. You said there's a day that you
yes,
always specifically give it for the god of the land.
yes.
So which day is that?
So mostly among the accounts community, they have a Thursday, yes, and then different communities, they have their different days. And one thing to be precise, even where I am currently, I'm from Ghana, northern part of Ghana, Upper East region, Sandema to be precise. But then where I am is quite distant from where I originate from, as in Ghana. Here we have what we call Yam Festival. So once the new season comes and the yam, they start to harvest the yam, they would have to celebrate and then feast with the gods first, so that if there is any pending doom that is coming with it, as in sickness or any calamity, then the gods will take that away. And funny enough, that is starting today. It's starting today in the Volta region. So Yam Festival celebration is starting today. So our festivals, ranging from Ghana, from Nigeria, from all the other countries, yes, they have these festivals that are either to celebrate wars, that victories that our forefathers won over their enemies, to free us and to gain the land in which we are settled presently. So all these are things that, like, if we want to mention them, we can keep counting and counting, and then the cycle will never, stop. So it actually evolved. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. So meaning there is need of Africa Voice International to also organize inter-regional festivals, whereby you can express your culture from the Volta region, and then
Yes.
those one from Komati. Then you also bring it to East Africa and enjoy the one from my tribe called Acholi. Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Yes.
interesting. I believe at the end of it all, we shall have to arrange for that.
That's true.
Right. Yeah. The next question I will pose to you, that you've mentioned quite a good number of them.
Yes.
Are our cultures being distorted, or are there cultures of ours that needed to be secured or reinstalled, that you believe that the whites came and introduced to us with quite a good number of cultures? And I am happy you are maintaining your attire. I can see you are in your entire, the cultural dress. So the whites came and introduced us the suits, the like, and we do quite a good number of things based on the technology and the modernity.
That
So
is
now,
true.
which area of cultures of ours in Africa do you think it was overtaken by the Western world, and what are those cultures that we can reinstall it back?
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, you see, looking at the aforementioned earlier, that African culture, it distinguishes itself from other cultures because of one, the emphasis they place on family and that of community. So the family component here is very, very, very key. You see, um, it's good to be educated. Yes, it's good to attain whatever height you can in life and achieve greater things. But whatever the case may be, the family is one thing you should never forget. Don't forget home. And that is one thing that growing up, as we learn, we get the perception that, we learn and we got to know there is a family called nuclear family. We have the extended family, and then moves to the community at large where you belong. So at the end of the day, now people feel that a lot of the youngsters, they feel that once you get independent and you're able to achieve your daily needs, and then you're able to make yourself comfortable, they break away from home. They break away from home, which is one of our core pillars that keep us together, that we are identified with. And in all, that differentiates us from the Western world. But at the end of the day, if that education which we have received is breaking that component, I think we have to have a second look at it, that the family, no matter what, yes, you cannot, and you should not. You should not
Wow, thank you.
break
So
away from
meaning
home.
family and community is important.
Yes.
Okay. So now the Western world has come with the modernity. What do
Yes.
you think some of the obstacle that has really hindered the progress of the African cultures, as a result of the introduction of the Western world's culture?
You see, to say a few, you see, the African culture, we said we identify by our great passion for um, storytelling, our music, our arts, and everything that we identify with. But now, because of the current modalities, as in now we have access to computer, we have access to internet, we have access to mobile phones, and then a lot more. So at the end of the day, it's becoming scarce. It's becoming scarce to even embrace what we have, what we stand for. You see, because people feel it's more fancy once you get to see what happens in the Western world. It's more fancy that you adopt that, and that is what makes you current, or that's what makes you up to date. You get it? Even narrowing it down to even our own local fabrics and stuff that we wear. I mean, a lot of people, anytime I'm going for lectures and then I wear this, I mean, they give me that look. Hey, I mean, you are so traditional. What is it? Like, what is the motive? You get it? So you stand out. And then when you look back to the younger ones coming up, because of mobile phones, they don't even like have time to sit with the elderly ones for advice. And with the mobile phones, they get predisposed to a lot of illicit content that they are not at their age, which is age-wise inappropriate.
Just a break, a moment. In 1967, when coming thing, the issue is you are seeing the current trend which is coming up now in Africa. We have seen the West introduce a culture, the culture of young people being lured into the act which is inhuman. Among them is the issue of lesbian and homosexuals.
Yes.
Now, in West Africa, what is the take of the people of West Africa in regard to that inhuman culture?
Well, thank you so much. This is quite a very sensitive question because, you know, Africans, we are people that, you know, we have our strong roots, as in our traditions forbids most of these acts that are foreign, that we're not born into, that we're not introduced to until this era of technology. That at any point in time, yes, once you have access to your phone, you can have access to everything. Yes. So in Africa here, let me say from the government is they're working so hard because they place if they should place this thing what do I say, if they are able to educate and revamp the younger ones. Yes, they are trying their own way to say, no, we are not going this way because it goes against our tradition, our religion, and for that matter, humanity at large. And when you move to the communities, traditional rulers, a lot of African countries, they have even put punitive measures against it. Once caught in the act, yes, this is what you go. Which is in a way, they are trying to keep the phenomenon from taking what is not African, from taking what is not us. So we would have to re-echo this in our own little way, wherever we find ourselves. They need to embrace that which is ours, and the importance of culture. And when we say culture, that wasn't part of our culture, so it's foreign. Yes.
Now, looking at the African anatomy and the continent as a whole,
yes,
you are the son of Africa. You are born and raised in a family in Africa.
That's
specifically
true.
In the western part of Africa.
That's true.
Can you mention some notable tribes in Africa, their history and originations and their cultures? Do you know any tribes in Africa that you can tell us and educate us more about?
Okay. I will give it the best of my shots, but I stand to be corrected though. Yes, you know, I learned about the Zulu people of South Africa, and one thing I know about them, with their dressing, for instance, it depicts that of a warrior, kind of. And only for me to go into details to my own section and out of curiosity to find out that the Zulu people, they have history of warrior culture, this and tradition that they've even made, and they celebrate it. They celebrate it as part of their festivals. And as to during their migration, how they won their present day settlement. Yes, and that is quite obvious in their dressing. And then once you watch festivals being celebrated, it depicts more of that. And that is what I can say about them. And then when you also look at the Maasai people of East Africa, you know, they are more into cattle herding. They are more into cattle herding, and basically a greater population of the people there. Yes, that becomes like the other or the basic means of survival, like the main occupation. Just like when you come to my place, for instance, we do more of farming. So we farm more and then we rear less. So, but when you think about the Maasai people, yes, of East Africa, they are more into cattle, and then they also have this. Every African country, they have this warrior history because of the battles they had to fight, and then you know, to gain their present day settlement. And looking forward, Ghana, for instance, yes, my very own. Yes. So Ghana comprises of a lot of different ethnic groups, tribes that migrated some migrated from Togo, some migrated from Burkina Faso. As it evolves, war after war, till they got settled in Ghana. Even in Ghana, they still had to fight to secure the portion which currently belongs to them. Yes. And then the Fulani people as well. Yes, they are also part of us, West Africa. And, you know, they have this history of nomadic culture and tradition, you know, and they are also most notably, they are into this Islamic region. They are Muslims, and their main the main work most of them do is herding, like the rare cattle. So these are few of what I have been able to lay my hands on, but I think I would have to do more so that I can feed you better next time.
Thank you very much, because there are quite a good number of them in Africa. Like in East Africa, you know, the Maasai in Kenya, but there's a Baganda in Uganda, Acholi in Uganda, Itesa in Uganda, the Adur in Uganda. Those are the tribes. You get it. One time you come to Uganda, you'll get to know most of them. Now, those are kind of the interactive, you know, cultures that we need to embrace.
Cultural transformation is very important for the African anatomy because it allows for preservation and evolution of culture and tradition and other practices. You know, the African anatomy can ensure that the cultural heritage is passed to younger generations if well preserved, and then we are able to move it to the next generation. Then it means that we are going to enhance its longevity. It would never fade, and we would continue to be identified even in the centuries to come because of our basic key or basic elements that distinguish us. So if you are able to preserve and then, move them down the generational lane, yes, it is going to ensure that it stays for longer and longer period of time, and that's we will not extinct even to the the modalities that are being posted by modern cultures. Yes.
Now, what I picked from your introduction, there are quite a good number of things why study African history. And I've learned that we study African history and culture because self-knowledge is the basis That is a foundation of self-identity and self-respect.
That's
And
true.
number two, it establishes uniqueness and specialness. For example, the black people were the first people in the world and gave birth to all people in the world and gave birth to other people. They created the first and some of the most profound civilizations in the world. No
That's
other
true.
races and ethnic groups can make this claim behavior. That is quite interesting. Now we were talking about the cultures. The last question I wanted to put to you, as artist,
Okay.
what do you think are some of the challenges or the roles you can play to make Africa a better place?
Okay. When I hear artists, yes, it changes me so much because it is not just writing, composing, and recording, and then performing to the people, but it is a task that you have on your shoulders to use the platform that you have to make an impact, and for that matter, a positive impact. Yes. So let me give you just a small freestyle, then we'll pick it from there. Is that okay? Hello.
Yes, yes.
Um, as an artist, you see, there is a call to duty, is a call to serve, and not just entertaining the people alone. You have a lot on your shoulders to deliver. Let me give you a musical interlude, and then we continue. Is that okay? All right. Buli kudem nikapochava kandadila tilikamba gazani ganadem nimanya nyibo kalitsadie nimena mena humde nigo umio tidangwenchava zergalula kambe o ganadem nimena janjiyenga tidanyirchava jaja karabati bulukodem nimena janjiyenga tidangwenchava jaja karabati. All right. Lawyer Okidi, in fact, it's been quite phenomenal with you. You see, from the beginning to where we've gotten to, what the song is simply telling us is that unity is strength, and that's united we stand and divided we fall. So looking at how our forefathers fought for independence, although they didn't have these the requisite knowledge and everything that we have now, yet they were able to achieve that milestone. If we are united as Africans, we'll be able to do much better. To your question, as an artist, there are so many challenges, in promoting culture. In Africa here, access to resources, funding is one of our key challenges. And for that matter, is one of the key challenges that is inhibiting the progress, limiting the platforms that I, Kapato, would need to make a great impact. And secondly, cultural appropriation or misunderstanding by other tribes. there are some of my costumes. Taking myself for example, there are some of my costumes. It's just like a flannel that you have to wear to cover your private part, and then you have animal skin hanging at your back to cover and protect you as well. You know, that particular costume that I'm telling you right now, in my place where I'm coming from, it is accepted. They know what it stands for. And when I travel to a different place to perform and fancy that I happen to wear that costume, people will not, I mean, they would not see the words, the value in that particular costume. They wouldn't understand. But that costume is what was being used days, years, centuries before I was born. It's one of the things that stand for our culture, and for that matter should not be allowed to go extinct. And since there is culture misunderstanding by other non-African countries, and even within the African countries, I mean, it deserves to be looked at again and again. And finally, we have competition from other cultures. Competition from other cultures. These are challenges that are inhibiting the ability of an artist, for that matter, Kapato, to deliver as much as he can or as he would have loved to do. And to overcome these challenges, we need to engage. We need to engage in cultural exchange and collaborations. Just like you mentioned earlier, when you said it, I was like, wow, you are a wisdom boss. You know 90% of everything. Yes. We need to do this cultural exchange programs through music, art, and other platforms and mediums that we can, so that once you are able to display your culture to other people, they'll be able to appreciate you and understand you better. And looking at it, I was just looking at it from this direction. Uganda, for instance, you have a unique and beautiful culture, which I hope one day Kapato will get that platform, that collaboration. So I'm calling on you and all other stakeholders among in the freedom among the freedom giants from Africa, and for that matter Uganda, to come on board and make a hot collaboration, enhance, trigger, get us the platforms, so that once we are able to get used to or communicate through music and culture, we'll be able to what? We'll be able to understand ourselves much better, that when we go out of our own territories, as in Africa, when we leave Africa to the Western world, yes, people would understand and take us more seriously and respect us. That is key. Respect us. For Black is beauty, Black is power, Black is strong. It is not a crime to be Black, yes. And the power of the Black man is unmatched. So if we are able to create that bond from home, create that cultural appreciation from within our own African culture, different countries, and when we are to go out of this platform of Africa, then we'll be more or much appreciated and more accepted and respected. So I'm putting
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Freedom Giant, Mr. Freedom Giant Kapato Thomas. It has been a very great interaction with you, and we really look forward to one-on-one, all together, me stepping on the land of Accra, land of Ghana, so that we make, a tremendous contribution towards the cultural transformation in Africa.
That would be great. That would be great. That would be great.
Otherwise, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for all what you've done. I call upon now, even the Africa Voice International, to think about it, to see how we can begin, exchange.
That I'm learning so much from you, and I appreciate. I really appreciate, and I can't wait to have another more time with you to deliberate or delve into a different area or same area, or better still, I can't wait to see you in person, visiting Ghana, to enjoy the beautiful stuff we have here. Just like you said it earlier, the fufu. Yes, we can't wait to have you here.
Thank you, bro. I look forward to that day as well, so that I come and enjoy the fufu all round.